Hello, it's again 4Spaces from Zurich. Here I am with Dario. My name is Michele. We are from the design department, and we would like to introduce you to the new Nomad Wallpaper Collection, which is something very nice for us to present you because it's again merging industrially handmade fabrics into a beautiful collection. I would like to start with the stucco part of the collection. We have stucco in two colors. It's fabricated with a mixture of calcium carbonate minerals, which is mixed then with like white glue into one pot. It's mixed together and then it's applied layer by layer onto this non-woven polyester backing paper for like an easy installation for walls. Calcium carbonate is a mineral which is found in stones, such as limestone, kalk, also in eggshells and in marble. So we powder that first, the stone, into this powder, and then, as I said, we mix it with this glue and apply it with a hand strike layer by layer, adding also the colors which are here, this apricot, nude salmon color, and here a little bit more in the blue tones. After the layering is accomplished, we polish the surface with a cut stone. It's again a stone which has to have the same composition like what we applied, and it's polished in a very traditional way, like we did the walls in Italy, the old stucco walls. So it's polished by hand. And to preserve it then, we apply a mica layering. Mica is this metallic, can also be matte, a layer finish, which makes it very durable, weather resistant. And here you see that we actually added a little bit metallic effect in it. So you have this golden effect going over that color here. So the inspiration with the stucco collection was the tree, a bark of a tree, and it was the eucalyptus tree. Eucalyptus has this effect that it has these surfaces. If you look at actually the design, you will understand. You just hope that nothing is peeling off as the real bark. But even in the studio, when we worked on it, we actually had bark from the eucalyptus tree, and we hammered it flat to see if we can actually use this also as a part of a wall covering. Perhaps in the future we will come out with something crazy like that. But for us it was more to actually incorporate the texture and bring it to the next level where we can use this calcium carbonate powder to create this collection. And the second part of the collection is the stainless steel part. So we move these panels quickly away, and we are even blessed with some sunshine here, hitting that beauty. So the Metallico collection, as the name explains it, is stainless steel and copper woven on a machine. Stainless steel, it's a very thin mesh you usually use for filters, like engine filters, to clean dust and dirt out of like gas, for example, or fuel. And then we take this inox steel and we start to work with heat on it. So we either put it into the oven or we start to work with torches with a heat flame on it, which actually then creates these effects that the inox steel or the copper starts to discolor. So that's the basic principle. So obviously, depending on the torch or the template we use, the pattern we create changes. So here, for example, you have more a cloudy effect. Over there you have more these stripes, and here very clearly this linear direction. In order to emphasize the random pattern, we actually added then this embroidery. So this is applied once the treatment is done with the heat. And then we actually again laminate the metal to the non-woven polyester fleece to make it easy for installations on the walls. Same installations, glue first on the wall, panels goes back. The panels are pre-trimmed again, so it's just literally pushing seam to seam, and then you should have a very, very easy and smooth installation.
And what is the inspiration for this collection?
The inspiration for the Metallico were actually photography from city lights at night, scenes at night. Think of a movie when the camera rises and you see all the lights of Los Angeles, you know, these famous movies which are starting like in this darkness. And we just took it really as an inspiration, a bit out of focus. What happens if you're on a big boulevard and you have cars coming against you, you're blended by these like beams. And then it's also, you know, when you travel, you might just hit this hotel room with this big glass windows, and it starts to rain against it, and you see these drops going by. So this was also the inspiration a little bit to imitate this like feeling that you're in a city, you look through windows and it's all a bit out of focus, and you see these city lights in the background. Hence the torch and the heat actually has a nice effect to create these images.
I want to know more about this stitching, how it's done.
So the stitching is actually, we use a very thick yarn. If you have actually a real sample, you will see it. It's a thick metallic yarn, and it's done by hand. So we have it in the needle, and we just, of course, it looks like random, but it follows a very clear pattern. For all of these ones here, we have a very clear setup where the stitch comes. It's not just like it comes random. It looks like here random, but they know exactly where to do it. So they insert the needle, and they made, and then it's connected to the part up there, and then it's clipped and glued down with the paper, so you can't pull it out. And we use the metallic silver yarn over there, and here matching the wallpaper, this copper yarn. We would like to pay a little presentation to our cork and our continuous interest in developing cork as a material, not just as a raw material, but also print, do finishes on it. And I just wanted to tag on to the previous collection which we had, the Grand Suite collection, which did extremely well. Here a very special technique where we print over it, and then we had this aquarelle almost finish. This one here with the gold print, which of course comes to life with light hitting it. Then we had this very beautiful subdued colors, copper, metallic, earthy colors. And then the last design was this one here, which was the Grand Suites Mahal fabric print, where we printed a very nice all-over pattern in these green colors. 4Spaces has been a forerunner with cork as a material. The first cork we actually introduced for in a collaboration with like a famous architect office which designed the Paris Art Museum in Miami. They came to us and says we would like to use a new upholstery fabric. Hence we started to kick it off with like very different materials and ended up with cork. And since then we have been educating ourselves constantly what we can do with cork, also inspired a lot by fashion. Cork has been really going very strong over the last few years, because it's a sustainable material, but also because it's a very environmentally friendly indoor. We have very low volatile organic compounds, VOCs. We just actually got approved by the Berkeley Institute in California to use cork as a wall covering in classrooms. So that's really reaching a very high performing class, and it has also fantastic acoustical values where it just has the ability to absorb sound, and also from the indoor temperature control, it has this ability to take humidity and sort of like give it back to the space, absorb it and give it back to the space, and regulate a little bit the humidity and temperature level in a space. And this year with the Nomad collection, we introduce now 3 more designs, and Dario will present that to you.
So these are the new design. This is Spina, inspired from the old brick building in Milano. We print this article in a small size to give more depth and movement to the design. This is corda, that means rope. We chose this green color and we print this realistic rope, which remind us the old Florence classic art. This is graphia, more modern twist to the cork. So on a classic base cork, natural base, we print this shiny silver layer inspired from the blind mirror in the typical Venetian villa.
These 3 designs will be part of the Nomad collection. They will run as a standard. If you have an inquiry or a special request to have a special print, or your own ideas how we can use the cork as a base and then develop it into a next product, please reach out to us. We would be very glad to work with you on any kind of special developments. Enjoy.